So today uh, we'll cover a scenario. So it's a workflow scenario. So I know most of the like time we use the flow designers, but for the legacy when like if there are some existing workflows already in the system and we need to modify some things. Uh, so just I thought to inform this part as well. So what we need to do is in a workflow, say uh, we'll cover this scenario. We'll create a catalog item, okay, with two variables. Uh, okay, so first variable would be uh, person's name, and the second variable would be manager. Okay, so in this workflow, we need to place an activity called approval. Okay, so this approval should trigger only if this request is not created by the person's manager. Yeah, so if request is created by person's manager, then no need of approval. Okay, so this is a like basic simple scenario. So we'll like go through this scenario today. Yeah. Okay, so first let me create a catalog item. And then probably we can enhance this, just to check. So and third point we can add is once this is done, finally create a catalog task. Yeah, so this point we'll add. So okay, let me create a new catalog. Yeah, so name will give uh manager check, something like that. Yeah, so we'll have it on the service catalog. uh some things we can keep blank, so here again we'll give the name as manager check. Okay, let me save this. So we need to create a couple of variables. First would be person's name, and second would be like manager. So those who are already aware of this functionality can just skip the video. Yeah. So person's name will create it as a reference field. Okay. Yeah. So order I'm giving is 1000. So name I will change it to person's name. It's the backend name. Yeah. So this, and in the type specification, we'll give as the reference to user table. Okay. We'll add a reference qualifier that only active users should be shown in this drop down. Yeah, so I would add active is true as a filter. Okay, so the first variable is created, person's name. Second variable will create person's manager. Yeah. Okay, let's test this catalog item if the variables are correctly populated. Okay, so person's name and person's manager, right? So this is referring to the user table, and this as well is referring to the user table. Okay, you see one difference. Have you observed it? Like there are 635 users, okay, in the first one, and in the second one, second field, there are 636 users. Do you know why? Has anybody observed why it is so? Because we are given a reference qualifier for the first field that only active is true person should be visible in the first variable, and in the second variable there is no such conditions, mean all of the users are visible, right? So that means one user is inactive in the system. If we want to verify, we can verify. Yeah, so active is true. If we just filter out, see there is one user which is active is false. Yeah, so this is the reason why 635 users are shown in this variable and 636 are shown here. Yeah. Okay, anyways, so uh, okay, we have created a catalog item. Now what is our next scenario? Using workflow, we need to configure this approval activity. So let me go to workflow editor. Okay, so because see, most of you might already be aware, but since we are creating a catalog item, so this essentially the hierarchy, the flow would be like it would create a request REQ, it would create a RITM, and then it would create a catalog task. Yeah, so this would be the flow. So we'll create a new workflow on the RITM level. Okay, most of the catalog item related workflows will be on the RITM table itself. That is the second table. Yeah. So again, name will be the same one, manager check. Table here will give SCREQ item. Yeah. So okay, we can submit this one. See now there are a couple of ways how to link a workflow to catalog item. So easy way is just copy this workflow name and just add it right here. Onto the catalog item, there is this field workflow, right? So just add it here. Yeah, manager check and just save it. So this is like one of the way how we can attach a workflow to a catalog item. Yeah, so this is now attached. Attached means whenever this um, catalog item is submitted by user, by anyone like by admin or by users, this workflow will be attached, and whatever actions we mention it in this workflow will be performed. Okay, so see, now we need to create an approval activity. Yeah, approval only if the request is not created by the person's manager. Okay, so how do we verify that? Yeah, so that's a condition, right? So in order to verify any a condition, we can use if activity. Name will give is requested by manager. Okay, that uses manager. See, condition here I will go with the script part. Okay, condition builder you can try manually. So whenever we check this advanced checkbox, yeah, so there would be like some pre-populated examples would be here for our help. So select all the script from answer is equal to if script. Just uncomment these things. Okay. So what it means is go one by one. Like line number 5, you suggest like whatever answer we are getting, from this if script. So that will be populated. I mean, that would be taken as the answer for this entire if activity. Okay. So here we need to mention. So how do we like access the variables of the um, catalog items variable is using current dot variables dot that variable name. Okay. So we'll go with this. Um, let's say if current dot variables dot if current dot variables dot what is the name of this variable? Uh, if current dot variables dot person's name dot manager is equal to uh, or we can say like this, where uh, u manager is equal to gs dot get user id. Okay, or gs dot get username. Let's try this. Okay, so here what we can do, if current dot variables dot person's name dot manager, let me see what is the backend name for username. Okay, for example, Apple tutor will try. Okay, so this is the user id. Backend name is user underscore name. Okay, current dot variables dot person's name dot manager dot user name is equal to Yeah, we need to just get user ID here. gs dot get user ID. Okay, is equal to you manager, or we can directly like try this also. Gs dot get user ID. Return yes, else return no. So let's try to uh like see if whatever we have written here, right, this script, if it is fetching the correct values. Okay, so how we can like before directly creating the workflow and testing it directly on the catalog item, uh, so we can actually use these background scripts, yeah, just to verify if the logic that we have written is reaching to the desired object, right? So we'll try. uh, yeah, so for example, I want to get the username of Abel tutor. Okay, so how will I um, right, how will I try to get this user ID from background script, just to see like if my logic is working. I would do a glide record. Those who are not understanding, please watch it a couple of times. Okay, gr is equal to new glide record sys underscore user gr dot add query. Now here I will try to go with the sys ID. Let me copy the sys ID. Okay, now let me query this table. Okay, while gr dot next gs dot info gr dot username. Okay, so I'm just trying to see if the code that I've written is reaching to the desired object or not. So let me run the script. Okay, so user ID is Abel underscore tutor. Okay, correct. So my code is reaching the user ID. Now let me use the dot working to verify. So gs.info gr dot. Do I have the manager's name over here or not? Uh, okay, let me configure it. Okay, so I would just use the controller functionality. Yeah, so this is the manager. Yeah, I would double click it and then I would get it right. Uh, yeah, somewhere here itself. Um, okay. Okay, so the manager is not set here. So let's set somebody. Let's say manager as Abraham. Okay. Now we'll try to see if we are able to reach this field from our script. Yeah. Okay. gs.info gr dot and what is the backend name? It's manager. Okay. Gr dot manager. Uh, See if I type this manager, no, it would give me the sys ID. See, because it's a reference field. So I would need to use dot uh, get display value. Yeah, so it should give me the string Abraham Lincoln. Okay. Uh, and I think using toString also we can try. I haven't tried it recently, but let me try toString. No, toString doesn't work. So we need to use the set display value only. Yeah. So what we understood is that we are able to what is this? gr dot manager dot set display value. not set, it should be get display. Okay, so we understood that through script we are able to reach to the user ID and users manager. Okay, so in the workflow, see what we have given. Okay, where we manage the if okay, so what we need to verify is if the request actually this variable we can just ignore time being. We need to see if the person who has logged on, right? So for example, if I'm creating a ticket for Abel, yeah, Abel tutor. Second, I will leave it blank. Say if I submit this request, if I go to the RITM, okay, I see the person's name is already shown as Abel tutor. So what our use case is, if this opened by or requested for, you can say, yeah, if one of these values, if this person is the manager of Abel, then the approval should not be requested. So this logic we need to identify in our if condition. Okay, so if we go for this is requested for, so if we say if current dot, okay, so see what logic I'm trying, current dot variables dot person's name dot manager, okay, is equal to current dot requested for, then return yes, else return no. Okay, so let's test it once. Okay, so we'll give this yes and then we'll add a approval activity. Okay, let's add this approval. uh, Say manager approval, and here we can just add like answer dot push and we can add the variables manager accordingly there. Okay, so time being I'm just adding like myself, just for the so that video doesn't get too long. Yeah, so if requested by is not manager, then add the approval, and if it is yes, then directly suppose if you want to create a task, um, say task one. Okay, so in that case, if it is approved, create a task one. Reject, we can set the rejection values. If it is yes, then okay, create another task. Okay, activity. I would give the name as task 2 just for simplicity. And now let's test it. Let's see how the workflow behaves. Yeah. Okay. So we'll create a request for able tutor order now. Okay. So if I go to the workflow, see, if is requested by manager, the answer I have got is no. And then the workflow has proceeded, yeah, as expected. So it would be waiting for the approval, I believe. Approval would again be my, because I have just hard coded it, right? Yeah. So this is one test. Now we'll create another test. So what we'll do now is we'll set, or I think we can impersonate this user, Abraham Lincoln itself, and that he might not have access to this portal. So I would just change the manager itself to my user ID. Okay, so I have changed the manager of Abel to system admin. So let's create a request. Okay. See now if you check the workflow, see, so this has evaluated to be true, right? Is requested by manager means why it has come. If you see, because it is requested for system administrator, and this system administrator is the manager of able tutor, right? So that is why no approval, I mean that redundancy is now removed and directly task is created. Whereas in the previous context, like the manager was different person, so this had evaluated to be no, and the approval was triggered. So this is a like use case I just tried to cover here. We can, add few more activities, like we can add the actual manager approval. We can set values uh, to be true, closed, complete, and if it is rejected, then we can set value as rejected, closed, skipped, etc. So you can try those. So main part was in this script, like how can we access the variables of the requested item and the default out of the box fields. Yeah, so this one line code is like it does the work to check the uh, like if the request is created by the user's manager, and before implementing it directly in workflow, especially in the non-production instance, uh, we can always rely on the background script to see if the code, the logic that we have written is actually reaching our desired point. Yeah, and so this background script should not be run in the production instance, because like if some wrong query is created, so it might result in the data modification, data loss, so all those things could happen. So don't use it in the production instance. Okay, uh, so if you have such use cases, and if there is any alternate way, of course, from condition builder also we can try it. You can explore that. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.